Ray, Gardner.
Got to go forward.
Graham, beaten the count back for the Norton Smith last year. Kicks it directly to Thomas. Thomas, the short one, Pendlebury. They sprint back towards goal now, the Magpies. McCaffrey, favoured by the kick, takes the mark. He was like a wide receiver going back for that one. Lobbed in his path and he's marked it within scoring range.
Yeah, we've talked about the young Magpie side who haven't really been to the grand final for a number of years, but they're playing like they've been here every week. I mean, they're composed, making good decisions, good skills at St Kilda, the battle-hardened team that played last year. They're the ones that are shaky.
Got to say, too, this area for the Saints is the Bermuda Triangle for goals. Didak, followed by Thomas, and now McCaffrey. Nothing to lose here at the 5th for the Magpies. Kick is on the way across the face of goal, so a reprieve.
Let off the hook there. It could have been a turnover. They just need to go forward here, St Kilda. I know they like to control the tempo of the game, but as long as they're going forward, it works.
So Hayes and Gwilt combined to Fisher. But Shaw held him up, so he won a little battle there. The test now for the Saints is to maintain that composure that Tom talked about before the game, to go through the things that you normally go through. You're 3 goals down. Hard to get your hands on the footy, hard to kick it straight. Find a target. They're doing some practice here in the back half, trying to work themselves into a bit of form.
They've 3 possessions, but they haven't really gained any advantage in either direction or territory.
So just little wins for the Saints. Here's a revolt against Brown, a shove into revolt into Maxwell. So a good call by the up, and then revolt, not a great kick. And Thomas, for the second time in about 2 minutes, marks the ball from the opposition.
He started well, Thomas, too. Along the line, Maxwell, the skipper, slips a hand pass away. Pendlebury, very industrious under pressure, affected the kick. Well, Davis needs to go harder. Spills across towards a man who always does. Hayes, close to the boundary line. Fisher to Graham. Kicks it inside the 50. Well, not quite. Hope to. Johnson kicks back beyond the wing. Pendlebury tried to work in front. Fisher claims the mark. He's had a lot of the football. Fisher right half back. So the Saints knew about this. It's no surprise. Collingwood, the fast starters. And they're hard to beat from this situation, particularly when you don't score a lot of goals yourself. It's out of bounds from the fist of Jolly.
The slower they're going at the moment, it's giving the players. You see the spot, that's a textbook one from Darren Jolly. Dale Thomas just at the screen there. He's the one pushing across. His work rate's outstanding. He started the game so well. 7 disposals, the leading possession getter on the ground. He's set for a big day.
Jolly did well against Gardner there. Ray down low, and then Gardner squeezes the ball to half forward. Schneider and Shaw boundary throw.
Just thinking, Dennis, a bit like, you know, Usain Bolt is quick, doesn't mean you can find a way to be quicker.
Exactly.
That's what St Kilda are finding at the moment. Nothing Collingwood are doing is a surprise, but they're just doing it so well.
So third man up again, Hayes, and he took the ball out of the air, then hooks it back to about 30 metres. Revolt got involved. Milne pushed. Still in play. No coming back. Wanting a free kick. Little shove in the back.
Hands in the back.
Got to make the most of any of these rare forward chances, St Kilda.
Close to goal. Gardner beaten by Jolly. Montagna slung. Momentum took him goalward, but the kick misses.
And just off screen, Dempster's doing the hard tag on Didak. Didak's come off. Dempster's followed him all the way to the interchange bench.
Lee Montagna grew up barracking for Collingwood. Made his debut against Collingwood. Round 6, 2002. Ross Lyon. A lot to contemplate at the moment. Nice kick. No pressure. Just sliding in behind the short zone. Marked by Reid. Running hard is McCaffrey to the outer side. This kick needs to be precise. He's outnumbered. Getting back Dawson. Good pressure from McCaffrey, arriving quickly, Beams, but 4 against 2, 5 against 2 prevails. Goddard, little 1-2 with Hayes, inside the forward 50, getting in behind. Brilliant gather by Shaw. Maxwell Slides it across towards a teammate in O'Brien. Now it's 2-on-1 on this side. Sidebottom needs to go, though. Takes the mark, stayed on his feet. That was important. Fisher went to ground. Wellingham kicks it up towards the wing. Cloak, still Cloak. Well done. Tries to get a hand pass away. Sidebottom kept coming. Hand passes forward. Brown crashes in. Wanted it most. Goes back to Pendlebury.
So good again today in this opening term. McCaffrey and Cloak. Good pressure from Hayes. And then revolt onto Reid. And Hayes gets the turnover, but the tackle on him's a beauty.
That's because there was no one forward of Hayes, so he had to hold on to the footy. They've actually had about 3 times St Kilda where kicks needed to be short in front of leading forwards, and they've kicked it over their head.
Tuvey, Beams, and then Johnson to Cloak, I should say, and grounded him.
One of the problems that St Kilda have got at the moment is when they look up, they just see the defensive structures of Collingwood. It's Maxwell. If it's not Maxwell, it's Harry O'Brien. So they just look up, there's nowhere to go. They really need to sort that out and make those 2 defenders in particular accountable.
They always look like they're in the right spot, Collingwood, don't they? To get that ball, Ray. Del Santo under pressure. Did well in the end. Back to Ray, back to Hayes. Cute little kick, a good one. Goddard getting involved. Montagna, important names. Peak. Run down brilliantly again. A great tackle from Tuvey. Shaw run down. That was a good tackle from McWalter. Little kick forward. Cut off. Ray getting a little bit of the ball. And then kicks to centre half forward. Revolt. Brown. Little give was clever. And then Revolt to Goddard. We know he's a lovely long kick. That's a floater to full forward. Kaczynski. Reid. Well done, Reid. To Johnson. And then Johnson spirals it back and finds a defender in Hayes.
It's coming back, though. Montagna takes the hand pass. Revolt.
That's the first kick that's given their marking forward a chance to lead into it. Even then, Revolt had to go full stretch. St Kilda's kicking is just, at the moment, too powerful going forward. Finally found a kick to the advantage of the leading forward.
Game number 196 for this man. Wonderful player. Tore his hamstring against Collingwood, round 3, missed 11 games, and still 37 goals in 13 games this season. In he comes. This one trying to work back, but it won't. Just misses out to the right.
As we know, Collingwood's accuracy is a little bit of Achilles' heel. Well, they've kicked 4-2. That makes a difference when you can actually get that 60 to 70% conversion accuracy from shots.
We talk about not being accurate with your kicking. Back in round 3, St Kilda won by 28 points. And Collingwood kicked 4-17, and in round 16, St Kilda booted 6-16. Close to the boundary line, Didak. This is their specialty, walking the tightrope along the boundary line, but Dawson wins the footy. Dawson goes inside. Goddard in the shadows, wheels around, comes back. Dempster takes the mark.
Passage of play generated from the kick in. It's one area of the game that Collingwood haven't necessarily excelled at this year.
Jones on the tightrope himself there, just stretching, keeping it in. Terrible kick, floats it down towards the 50. Revolt gave a contest. Blake did well. Del Santo back to Hayes. Blake got a hot one. Gives it across towards Eddie. The hand pass not so flash. Thomas went in amongst about 4 of them and won a terrific football for Collingwood. A draw is a win in that situation.
The pressure and the implied pressure, isn't it? At the moment, Collingwood, even St Kilda should have been able to clear the ball then, but the implied pressure draws the error.
So Blake took it out of the contest, and then Del Santo. O'Brien just had a slip. Eddie's handball, that one's a bit better. And then Schneider to half forward. So Kaczynski to use Peak. Now Peak under pressure. Reid got into his back a little bit. And now Brown. This is Lee Brown on the left. Ball and Goddard. Goddard will fancy himself to outrun him. Well played, Goddard. He's had a big second half of this first quarter. Little kick from Montagna to Fisher, and then Fisher to Revolt. And the Saints have had a good 5 minutes.
Well, I think we've just noticed just recently Nick's kicking from this distance has just been looking a little ad hoc.
Good players learn quickly, though. This is the same spot, isn't it?
It's his full distance kick, really, isn't it? It's the 50-metre kick, 55 metres to clear the line.
Been able to play the game in their half at the moment. St Kilda taking the ball off Collingwood in the centre of the ground instead of the back half, which is going to be important to control the tempo of the game.
He struck it well. It looks a big chance. It is a captain's goal. They certainly needed that.
It's important for St Kilda, but it's also important for Riewoldt, isn't it? I mean, at the moment, I think he would think he's playing on the whole Collingwood team, because any Collingwood body in his vicinity is going to push into him, bump off him, and didn't touch the ball much for that first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, but he's got the couple of marks, finally got a goal on the board.
Yeah, St Kilda really need to sort out what they're going to do with those extra numbers in the Collingwood back up, because Nick Riewoldt's obviously the most important player for St Kilda, but he can't do it on his own.
This is exactly what they need, the Saints. They need to get a goal on the board. They've actually had a good 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes since Collingwood kicked their last goal. Great capacity, the Saints, to work their way back into a game.
So that makes the margin 12 points, and in its way, given what's happened, quite manageable. The outside of the boot, Didak got it from Ball, kicks it down towards half forward. Once again, Fisher had it, lost it, comes across towards Dempster, needs to be careful. He kept it a long time. Blair, Didak inside the forward 50. Great acceleration from Dawes. Went to ground. Dawson put the body in. Picked up nicely by Jones. Montagna. Now that characteristic strutting run of Stevie Baker goes towards the outer side, and the mark is taken there by Blake.
And Blake first quarter, Blake did the centre-backs. That's the third centre-backs ruckman for St Kilda.
Saints finding a little space now. Here's Graham.
Measures the kick to Schneider. And then Schneider coming wide. Now this is a big play. Dempster, not the quickest, but he goes.
It's a good play.
With a kick in mid-air. Riewolddt, well done. Del Santo brings it back to centre-half forward. Belted away there by Reid. Schneider loves a goal in a grand final and delivers. And the Saints are back in this match in a big way.
That was really impromptu play by Sean Dempster, I think it was. He kicked the ball off the ground over to Del Santo. He would have been 3 on 1.
Matthew Scarlett started something.
the toe poke, it was under siege in that swarm Collingwood mentality. It was going to be a 3 on 1. If he picked the ball up, he would have been in trouble, but got the ball forward. Del Santo had the courage to bring the ball back in, and as was mentioned, Schneider knows how to kick a goal. He's in pretty good form.
Back in the game, aren't they? They've now 12 inside 50s now, St Kilda, Collingwood's 10, so they're getting the ball into their forward half. Only kicked 3 goals from the 12, but after that blitzkrieg early by Collingwood, St Kilda have now stabilised.
Margin just 6 points then. Brown struck on the shoulders. The ball was coming down. Del Santo